life growing up through film. Imagine the memories and events that you could recapture if your childhood was recorded, from playing youth recreational basketball, club tennis, to singing in the middle school choir. Our guest will talk about these and other unique experiences from his childhood, all caught on film. The Humanities Mass Communications Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television, future writers, directors, and personalities. And now, join our host, Elizabeth Friel, to meet the next new director.
Thank you for joining us today for today's edition of New Directors. All the people included in this program are students on the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, and operating cameras and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you will meet on this show are students who are, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with few mistakes as possible. Each student's written and direct 4 different productions. This program will give you the chance to talk about themselves and the productions they've created, and give the chance to get to know them, enjoy some of the work they've done during the semester. Our guest today is a student who enjoys reminiscing the glory days of being a child, playing sports and other activities when he was young. We would like you to meet the guest today, Preston Larsen.
Nice to see you.
So Preston, what inspired you to dig up these old memories?
Well, I always kind of had a fond childhood, fond memories of it, to say. And when I actually realized that my parents, I found a collection of discs that my parents had been collecting, and it was all from the time where I was born, but even before that, to basically when I was 15 years old. So seeing all of that from kind of a third-person view really intrigued me, and kind of just seeing how my life was from a different perspective was really cool to me.
Cool.
And reliving those memories, especially.
That's awesome. Can you tell us about?
Yeah, so this is me playing rec basketball when I was about 12 or 13 years old, with actually a bunch of my friends who I'm still very good friends with today. So yeah, this was definitely a huge part of my childhood, basketball especially.
It's cool.
You see me in the white shorts there?
Yeah.
In the corner, bang, fade away. I hit that shot. Yeah. There's me in the choir. I think this was 7th or 8th grade in middle school.
That's cool.
Also some of my friends there.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was a pretty fun time.
Yeah.
Get all dressed up.
Yeah. How long have you done choir?
Oh, I stopped after middle school, but
Right.
It was fun doing it.
Yeah.
For a time. It's actually my ex-girlfriend there on the right.
Huh.
But yeah, this is really cool to see, kind of just how I looked when I was younger. I was a little pudgy, but it was cool to see kind of what I've been through and how that compares to how I experience those events.
Yeah. Is that the who is that talking?
That's the director.
Director. Yeah.
Actually, one of my friends' mom.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So big choir.
Some boys were causing commotion up top. I remember that. The baritones.
How many students were in the choir?
Actually, by eye, probably 120.
Wow. Wow.
I don't know.
So, could you tell us why you decided to take this film and TV class?
Well, I've always kind of had an interest in film, and I feel like I've wanted to do more with it, especially when I came across these discs and eventually use that for my projects. I really had an interest in kind of figuring out what goes into film, how I can use that, especially in my life. Because nowadays, people are documenting everything, posting things on social media. So it really is like essential to basically document this stuff, and film is one of the great ways and methods you can use that.
Cool. What are like some of the skills you learned in this class?
Well, I think one of the big things was your shot selection. That was pretty key for me. And what angle you're taking it from, what kind of that tells you about the shot. If you're taking it from below, then you're kind of they're looking down on you. If you're taking it from above, you're looking down on them. Eye level, stuff like that. That was pretty key for me. Also, kind of the framing techniques I remember in nature, or not in nature, framing for my orange project was actually pretty big.
Cool.
But especially the lines of convergence to kind of like some, what do you call it? To mimic action, and other lines like parallel lines, and all that was really key in kind of the filmmaking process and how you're supposed to kind of make those important in your film.
Could you tell us about your cup of tea, your student studies, your nature and your orange project that you created?
Yeah, of course. Well, for cup of tea, I think that was really kind of my kickstart to the actual filmmaking process. I think I actually did a pretty good job on it, as you can see here. The lighting wasn't great. I had to work with what I had in the kitchen, but thankfully my dad was able to help me out doing the acting. And I think I did a pretty good job on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty smooth process. It was simple, but it worked out. I think the cutting on the action was really something important that I learned when doing this project, and making sure that you get it synced up perfectly so it's seamless.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
So here was student studies. This one didn't go as well as the first one. I was definitely working with a more limited amount of space, since I had like a big couch in the way, and I couldn't violate the 180-degree rule, so I had to take everything from kind of like a hallway. So that one didn't turn out as well as I had hoped. But for the third project, here's my nature. I really like this project, especially because kind of the colors of the fall and how I had so much to choose from in my yard. You see more lines, parallel lines right there.
Yeah.
Continuous zooms.
Looks nice.
This is finally the orange project. This one's very similar to the cup of tea filmed in the kitchen, for the most part. I think I got a little better on cutting on the action in this one too.
Cool. So out of all the 4 projects, was there one that you enjoyed doing or that stood out the most?
Yeah, honestly, I'd have to say it was my cup of tea, the first one I ever did. Because I feel like I got kind of carried away with getting too crazy about the details for all of the other projects, and cup of tea was kind of just getting to the point, simple for me. And I could use a little creativity now and then, as you saw with the first shot, like walking at his heels. But with the other projects, it kind of just got out of hand. And I think this one was where I really nailed down the basics for the most part.
Yeah.
But yeah. Nature too, I'd say I have to go up there. Just because of how nice the shots were.
Yeah, nature looks like a nice, well put out sequence you created.
Thank you.
Yeah. But also cup of tea looks really fabulous, like how I just pour the water and everything.
Yeah, I definitely need to work on kind of filming things before and after the action.
Yeah.
Would have helped me a lot. But
yeah.
It worked.
Yeah. Nice outdoor shot. So you mentioned that you learned a variety of skills. What is the most interesting or creative skill that you would use in the future, and how would you put that to use?
I think the rule of thirds was really probably something that stuck with me as being pretty important. Because when you're setting up a shot, it's all about kind of the distribution of the shot and what you want the focus to be on. So if you have too much clutter on one side, you can't really make a ball-balanced shot that way. And setting things up on the lines, eye level especially, is really important. And that's something I really learned and nailed down in this course.
Sure. Today we got to meet someone who enjoys old film and his early child experiences. As the new TV director, he hopes to apply what he has learned here at NCC and to make films of his own about his future experiences in travel. He also plans to use the new knowledge from TV1 to work on his technique and shooting skills for the future. We would like to thank Preston Larsen for joining us today.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoy meeting one of TV's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you and have a great day.
So bad. Oh, you did pretty good.
You did well.
This has been The New Directors with your host, Elizabeth Friel, directed by Cici Ndoku. I'm your announcer, Victoria Massa. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.